sacredness is all about relationship. So I think it starts with the person themselves. So a person that understands their own sacred nature could be in a parking lot and find a plant that's budding that no one pays attention to and have a deep sacred relationship with that one plant. And it's the same thing with a piece of land. Land is really, obviously it's living, but it's also just a teacher for relationship. I am Bala Yancey. I'm the founding steward of Just Love Forest. At the end of 2017, I had a completely unexpected spiritual awakening. I was not expecting in any way, shape, or form. I was not seeking anything. And for me, it just meant I had a spontaneous experience in meditation where I realized I was much greater than the story of who I was. I was experiencing a lot of different things, different teachers, different places, different things. And someone introduced me to Ram Dass's work, and I had not even heard of him. He was formerly known as Richard Alpert. He was a really well-known professor at Harvard and Stanford in the area of psychedelics back in the 60s. And after his career ended, he traveled around the world meeting with the highest spiritual beings, actually offering them LSD, asking them questions like, what is this technology? And he kept coming up short. He kept going to these high spiritual beings and they'd say, I don't know what it is, I don't know the map. He finally met a spiritual being in India in the late 1960s named Karoli Baba, who's a really renowned saint. And for the first time ever, this person knew everything about him. Through that experience in the late 1960s, that's how he kind of transformed into Ram Dass. His spiritual name, Ram Dass, which means servant of God, was given to him by his teacher named Karoli Baba. And so after that, he came back and he wrote Be Here Now. And Be Here Now is kind of considered in America like the New Age Bible, if you will. That was counterculture, again, sort of late 60s, early 70s. And the messages in that book are really all around unconditional love, universal acceptance, all paths are the same, it's all one. After meeting the spiritual teacher, Ram Dass, and I consider him my main spiritual teacher, I kept getting a message everywhere, get a forest for healing, get a forest for healing. Everywhere I went, everything I did. And I didn't know what the healing was at the time. So through my spiritual practices, through my relationship with Ram Dass and his teacher named Karoli Baba, I was led to one piece of property. So there was no selection, there was no multiple journeys to vast properties. I was led to this one property. And when I heard about it, it's a feeling I have in my heart and my body when I know that something's for me and for this. And it was an absolute knowing that that's what the healing was meant to be. And visiting this forest, even though I'd never been to this part of the state, didn't know a single person, never owned a large piece of land, the feeling of alignment and comfort in my body was undeniable. And then I only found out after I bought the land, the long history locally about Poetry, Georgia, all the indigenous history. So over time, it's continued to show and storytell all the reasons why it's been a beautiful home for Just Love Forest. Our job as stewards is to keep this as a clean, safe space. And part of that's physical, meaning, it's a safe place to come to. But part of that is also that anybody of any path, of any religious persuasion, can come and experience the same master teachings from nature. We don't teach here. We create safe space for people to come receive lessons from the forest and from nature. And so we're working on behalf of the forest to make it accessible so people can come receive the wisdom.
So if you look around, a lot of the native plants and flowers here are plants that I've planted and tended to. So every time I come, I'm removing some invasive plants and planting some native plants here and just noticing the insects and the mushrooms. For me, it's so important because we're in this time of collapse where a lot of insects and animals are dying, and to see diversity and to see beauty here is just really amazing. My name's Josh Wayne. I'm a steward here at Just Love Forest. I've also helped with the Green Burial Ground as the manager, and I also practice nature-based therapy here in Atlanta. as somebody from Atlanta, this habitat is so different and so unique. I was really humbled by the fact that I didn't really know much about the plants, the animals, and the world around me here. And I was fascinated and really interested to get to know Bala, the landowner here. And from there, I began coming up for volunteer opportunities and just really fell in love with the land and the community as well.
What we really teach here is we teach time and spaciousness so you can get back into your essential senses. So touch, taste, hearing, and intuition. And all that stuff's innate, but because of the way that we're socialized and the way that we have to work and the way that we have to be in relation with other people, our attention is very truncated. It's very specialized. It's very numbed and focused. And so we lose all the broader vision and the senses of what's here. So a lot of Shinrin-yoku, the practice of forest therapy and forest bathing, is getting back to that innate sensibility that we have, that we all had as children. And the practice of Shinrin-yoku actually started in Japan in the late 80s. So it's not an ancient practice, but it has ancient roots. Japan was going through a really tumultuous time of technological innovation with Casio and Sony. And so during that time, they decided to actually help their population by making the forest medicine, going back to their ancient monastic traditional roots. And so in Japan, if you go and say, I'm anxious, I can't sleep, all the things we might say here, instead of naming a prescription that you saw in a television ad, which happens here, they would say, I'm actually writing a prescription to go to forest number so-and-so, and you're going to work with a forest therapy guide for 3 times this month. And you're going to be there for 2 to 3 hours. So in Japan, you get written a prescription for forest therapy. You go to a sanctioned forest, you work with someone. Obviously here, it's not so much health-oriented. We're not taking your health metrics, but the result is the same, psychologically, physiologically. So that's the roots of the practice. And we have a whole host of different types of experiences that are really all across the board. But they all are within the container of Shinrin-yoku, which again is a Japanese practice of forest bathing. When we're doing forest therapy, usually the experience is anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. And we're taking groups in the forest, usually of about 15 people. And we offer what you call invitations. An invitation's a creative prompt. So we'll go into the forest and I'm feeling the wind and looking at the light and listening to the animals just like they are. And based on our training, we'll offer them a creative prompt and a way to relate to nature that maybe they haven't done since they were a kid or they never thought about doing. Again, around touch, taste, hearing, intuition, all your senses. And then we give them time to go off in the forest on their own for 15 or 20 minutes and to have what experience they have with the plants and trees and wildlife. And then we come back together and we always answer the question, what are you noticing? And the vast array of responses from experiences that happened in 20 minutes from a small piece of forest is a beautiful part. And some people are thinking again about childhood, some people are grieving, some people are feeling immense joy, some people are realizing peace, some people are bored and asking why are they here. I mean, it is the entire gamut of human experience. So that is the nature of forest therapy, and we'll go to different parts of the forest and have these experiences.
So I'd say people who come here are probably seekers. They're searching for something deeper to enrich their lives and seeking shared experiences. And I think I also was seeking that when I came here. I didn't know it at the time. I thought I was mostly just coming to be outdoors with people, which I've done before, but sort of the sacred community aspect of it and the kind of people that draws, that's what keeps me coming back. My name's Winnie Hume. I live in Metro Atlanta. I'm recently retired. Prior to that, I worked as a graphic designer. I would say I had a deep relationship with nature prior to coming here. I spent a lot of time outdoors. I camped and backpacked and paddled and done all the things. But here, it's been sort of maybe a different way of coming at it. We do forest therapy on a regular basis, which I had heard of forest bathing and maybe thought I'd been doing that, but learned it wasn't really. It's, when it's a guided experience, it's really different from just being outside on your own. And so I think that will just continue to grow, because every time I do forest therapy here, it's a completely different experience.
Every time I come up here, it's a surprise. It's mainly the different types of people that come up here and the community that he's formed here. It's deepened my connection with nature. And really, the reality of it is I feel like we've disconnected from nature, and my mission is to help humanity reconnect with nature, develop that relationship with nature, because we've lost that relationship. My name is David Castellini. I'm a nature therapy practitioner, which means I use nature as part of my health care. I call it also self-care. I practice the whole therapy approach, which is simply just breathing exercises, calming down, sitting within the forest, using all my senses to just acknowledge the trees, the animals, everything here, and I just quietly slow down, sit there and just talk and listen to them and, offer myself to them here. I'm here as a steward for the planet.
So the fact that we're here and the fact that we're in relationship and honoring the seasons and honoring the plants, because we're doing that on a regular basis, people can come here and they feel it and they see it immediately. But you could take any piece of land and start to tend it and be in relationship with it, and over a period of time, the sacredness becomes more and more visible simply because it's a real relationship that you have with it.
our community's been growing, taking shape and evolving, and to be able to sing songs together that we've all sung actually many times before, and to do this despacho ceremony that is now our third or fourth time, it really felt like the community's harmonizing and coming together in a really beautiful way. And so to recognize so many people in that yurt, to meet new friends and get to know them more deeply is really powerful, and something that I don't get much outside of here.
All the ceremonies here, they just help me be a better steward of the land and just expand my knowledge and commitment to, help people reconnect.
This was actually my third time participating in that here. So the first time I participated, I really had no idea what it was. Didn't know what to expect. I had kind of low expectations, honestly, and it ended up being just super meaningful to me, and I loved participating in it. So I've had that experience each time. It's been just slightly different, but you're coming together with other people in a very intentional way to honor something or someone. In this case, we were honoring Serpentfoot, one of the matriarchs of the land here. And it's a really beautiful experience. It draws on nature in terms of we're using flowers and seashells and herbs and just creating a thing of beauty together, sort of in an unspoken way, with really powerful music being performed by members of our community. So it's just very enriching and nourishing, and I love it.
The main difference for me, I'm involved in a lot of different organizations, is the people who come here tend to be working a spiritual path, a spiritual program, and they have a deep connection with nature, which is what we all share. And so we talk about the different ways we do that over here too, that I really know and believe that trees are sentient beings, and I communicate with the trees, and they have spiritual wisdom that they can offer. And I get that from the other people here too.
Before I came here, spirituality was not part of my life, anything I ever really gave much thought to. And coming here and trying out practices that people here are involved with, like chanting and some rituals and even just deep sharing about what's going on in your life, I found that it started to change me. And so my interests have evolved over the time. I've been coming here almost 3 years. It has become a central part of my life at this point, and something that is really, really meaningful to me.
To be able to support, to be able to teach about the plants and the mushrooms, and then to see all of the amazing people that come to Just Love Forest from Atlanta, from Alabama and Tennessee. I've met so many amazing human beings, and so whether it's the great food, the community, or the beautiful land here, there's always a reason I keep coming back. And when I came out here, I started taking photos of every flower out and realizing that the botanists were super excited. Northwest Georgia is a spot that has really rare plants that might not exist anywhere else in the state or in the country. And so as I began sharing photos, we had interest from University of North Georgia, UGA, the Botanical Gardens, the DNR Rare Plants, and so each week there's something new happening, and I've been able to bring experts from around the state out here to Just Love Forest, and it's been really remarkable every time we come out. So I've learned a ton over these past 3 years of coming out with knowledgeable people and just learning everything I can.
Our hope is always that they remember that they are nature. Our hope is they can, as a direct experience through their senses, through creating this time and space, they can realize that they're not here to extract. They're not here just to take and feel more peaceful and go back to what they're doing. They're not here to be told or taught to protect, so it's not us trying to tell them stories of why they need to feel a certain way. It's that they realize through their senses that they are part of this. They are part of it. And if they can realize self-love and care for themselves, then there's an innate sense that they should care for everything around them. not because they saw something on social media, not because it's a fear tactic, but because they want to love themselves and they see themselves in things that are outside of their body. So that's really our long-term hope, and that's our mantra, our tagline is, remember, you are nature.